The information button is very important to know about, and it has several functions. Let's take a look at those. It functions in two different ways on the screen we're looking at here on the screen, is that it functions separately for playback as it does for recording or taking your images, and it's going to give you two different groups of information. So if you want to know the settings prior to taking the picture, that's what's going to happen when you first turn the camera on and you see your home information screen, which is what we see on the screen right now. So let's take a look at what our sort of home shooting screen is going to have on it. And remember that when we do press that bottom left information button, it goes to the more detailed one, to nothing, and then back to our sort of home shooting information screen. On the top left is the shooting mode on the mode dial. Program is where I like to leave it because it gives you complete creative control. The date, that noise reduction is turned on. Our ISO or sensitivity is on automatic. We are on one touch white balance, so it shows us which white balance we're using. The flash here is on auto. It's on the natural setting for a picture mode there. That's in one of your settings in the menus. Where our ESP metering is set up here with all of the segments you see lit up. That's the very intelligent, fully automatic metering over there. Our focus point is on auto with all three dots lit up. We have our autofocus mode is on single shot autofocus, so you press the shutter halfway down, it locks on to the focus, beeps, and then you follow through with the shutter. So that's sort of the home mode on our autofocus. We see the drive mode, that's on single shot over there. If it was on timer, you'd see a little clock, or multiple continuous shots, you'd see several frames in a row. We're using the compact flash memory card. We can switch between them. We can have both cards in the camera at the same time. We're on the high quality setting of image quality, and we have 41 images. Now I'm going to press that info again, and we're going to see that we have the more complex screen with even more information on it. And the stuff that's added here is that it's going to show you if you biased the red or green here and gone in and tweaked it a little bit to change the color tone a little bit. Right now you see plus or minus 0 means it has not been messed with. That again is our natural color tone. Right here is some of the bias things that you can set up with saturation, color, the color space, and these things are going to show if you have adjusted those at all for biasing the way that the camera functions with sharpness or contrast or color. You're going to see these numbers off the 0 mark. So say if you had set those and played with those and you're out at another day shooting, you go, gosh, it's sort of awfully contrasty. You better go in and check that on your information and see you hadn't left it all bumped up. Here's our color space over there. We can see that our flash has not been biased at all here. These are muted right now because it's not turned on. But if you did compensate your flash and bump it up, you would see it there. We're in auto mode on the flash. High quality setting again, single shot AF. Here is a compact flash and the resolution that we're actually shooting at. So it shows you the pixel size of the camera. Now if I press the playback button, the green arrow box on the top left back of the camera, and bring up a shot of my watch that I just took, if I press the info button now, we're going to be able to see the shooting conditions of the image as we had taken it. So this is sort of the before and after, the way that to look at the information before and after. On the first screen here, we have compact flash, high quality. The label that the image is tagged with, in other words, the file number, this is the folder number and the image number, the 33rd image that's been taken by the camera. There's a little file tag, and the 9th image that had been taken before the numbers are reset there. So now I'm going to press that information button again, and it's the same stuff, but it adds the resolution that we shot at there in 1/8 compression, so it gives you the exact resolution. Now, it's always great to have information on the screen, but of course the more information you see, the more your picture itself will be covered up. Now here's a very important screen to know. This is where we've got the histogram broken out into a luminance histogram where all the colors combined, and then our separate red, green, and blue colors, and showing you from dark to light the information present. We're going to have a little special on histogram later to tell you how you use that. Here's a little mini of the image over here, compact flash, high quality, but here's a subset of the stuff that how we shot the thing in program mode at 1/80th of a second, f5.6. We see that there's no exposure compensation. It's neutral exposure compensation. Shot it at 42 millimeters, so the lens told the camera, the zoom lens, whoops, what it was set at. When we took the picture, we were at ISO 100. You may have set that, or the camera may have done it. Here's our ESP metering mode over here, where our flash compensation is at 0. We did not bump the flash. White balance was on auto with no biasing in the red or green over here. Again, the sRGB color space, and we're going to talk about the color space a little bit later. If we press the info button one more, we're going to see a very large a regular, what I call luminance histogram. That means all the colors from dark all the way to light. You see that there's a blank space here where there's no data. That means that the picture was a little bit underexposed, because we want the data to go all the way across from dark to light to be well represented here. So we would go, I underexposed that a little bit. I might want to crank up the exposure a little bit, use exposure compensation, or try a different type of metering and see if we can get that data conform. And of course, in post-processing on Photoshop or other programs, you can readjust this, normalize this histogram and bring up the exposure so that it looks good. Remember, it's always best to shoot the picture correctly the first time and not have to adjust it after the fact, cropping or adjusting colors, because every time you do that, you lose a little resolution or you get a little more grain or something like that. So let's press the info button again. And right now, what this does is go and give you your absolute 100% highlights. Being that we are underexposed a little bit, there's just a little bit of a section here where white, absolute 100% white is showing. So it shows you how much of the picture was taken where it's 100% white, and those areas blink. If you press it again, you're going to get the shadow detail. You're going to see the dark parts of the picture, and you see, since we're a little bit underexposed, we have quite a large area that's got sort of the shadows in it there. I press the info button once more, and we're back to the complete picture where we have no information on it. So you have a complete gradations of whether you would like a whole bunch of information on the screen or just a little bit of information on the screen. And there's usually a compromise point. I'd probably go to the second level there where I can tell where I shot it, what mode, this kind of thing. So there you go. A lot of versatility, a lot of information, and you need to memorize what those things are.